In 1989, a Qantas plane travelled non-stop from Sydney to London, which is 17,850 kilometres, and it took 20 hours and 9 minutes. The plane started with 184 tonnes of fuel. On landing, it had enough fuel for another 55 minutes. The first question is, what is the plane's average speed in kilometres per hour? So it basically went 17,850 kilometres in 20 hours and 9 minutes. So we want to know how many kilometres it went in 1 hour. So the hard thing here is this is 20 hours and 9 minutes. If it was 20 hours, it would be easy. You just divide this by 20. If it was 5 hours, you divide this by 5. If it was 10.2 hours, we divide this by 10.2. This is 20 hours and 9 minutes. Again, using that button on your calculator, that if you put 20 hours and 9 minutes into that degrees, minutes, and seconds, what you'll find is that this is 20 hours and 0.15 or 20.15 hours. So, as I said, if you can use that button, understand that button, put in 20 hours, 9 minutes, hit equals, it will change it for you. How do we find out what 1 hour is, how far it would go? We're going to divide this side by 20.15. So we divide the other side by 20.15. And we get that it was traveling at 885.8 kilometers every single hour. Can you check that? You can check it if you want. Times this by 20. Do we get back to that? It's a little bit over 20. We should be a little bit short, but you can check your answers. Checking your answers. When teachers say check your answers, that's what they mean. Take this and do it a different way. Do it backwards. Is 885.8 times 20 pretty close to this? Yep, excellent. You've got it right. This next one, how much fuel was used for this flight to the nearest ton? So we know that there was 55 minutes of fuel left, and it used 20 hours and 9 minutes worth of fuel. So that's the first thing we're going to do. The total amount of fuel flying hours was the 20 hours and 9 minutes plus the 55 minutes. So really, it had enough fuel for 21 hours and 4 minutes. What is that? That's really 1,264 minutes of fuel. How did I get that? I just did 21 times 60 plus the 4 minutes. So 21 times 60 gives us 1,260 plus the 4 minutes. So this is how much fuel it really had. How many minutes was left over? It had 55 minutes of fuel left. So this is like the percentage of fuel that was left. It had 55 out of the 1,264 litres that it started with. So if we want to find how much tons of fuel it had, it's this fraction of what it started with. So it's just going to be 55 over 1,264 times the 184 litres, and to the nearest litre, that gives us 8 litres, so, or 8 tonnes of fuel. Fairly hard question, very hard. Lots of people in the HSC got this second part wrong. Part of that is knowing what numbers to use, making sure that you've added this 55 into the flying time. But yeah, hopefully that makes a bit more sense.